Eric is actually shooting with like a 3D or something. Like
cool.
And but no, I'll show you this. It's my high. This is my high end.
Should I record this or?
Yeah, if you want to.
I mean, I don't know if you want to keep it hushed or.
People will be horrified. Like, here, Mark, my laptop died, so I've been putting my Astro Space Heroes on the tablet. No, But I'll show you. I kind of forced myself to start editing on tablet because I figured that's where most people are going to start editing.
Oh yeah, I kind of like this idea using pictures for a comic book.
These are actually fairly simple designs. This is Tucky. I can actually go on record on this. Dealing with, I've been kind of on the peripheral edges of comic books and films are kind of in the same ballpark.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of filmmakers are into comics,
but the one beautiful thing about technology is that you don't have to be dependent on artists. That's the how sometimes when you say in filmmaking the Achilles heel in indie filmmaking's actors.
Yeah.
Same thing with artists, because we went through 3 or 4 different artists on Pain. And it was essentially like a Lobo meets 4 crossover meets Jim Morrison thing. And anyways, I fleshed out the origin episode. It was like 3 issues. And we went through at least 7 artists, at least. And the publisher just finally imploded. But I actually have all these JPEGs of like, this is fantastic art. Well, it didn't work out. Oh.
I've actually been practicing drawing. I used to be really good at it, and then I kind of, not really good. I used to be okay at it, but I kind of just stopped doing it, and I've been trying to do it, and I've been trying to get better at it, because I have some things I'd like to illustrate, too.
Well, that's the reason why I've been like, I thought that was fantastic, that you can also...
Yeah, I do like this idea. Instead of even filming, you can even have a set and everything, take a photo and use it in a comic.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. But I mean, you could also have the option, if you shot on a green screen, if you wanted a video tie-in, you're like, hey, you like my comic? Hey, check out the video too.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I'm going to try to do that with Naughty Moo Monster. I did take your idea, and it did sell.
Oh, it did? Behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes for Saucer Sex Bomb. I was like, holy shit, it sold. It just sold 1, but still it sold.
Oh, really?
But
I was hoping it would sell more.
But no, well, that kind of a movie, the movies that I have sell not necessarily frequently, but they.
Bummer.
That's fantastic.
I guess it's just a regular plane, but I don't know what it is. Anyway.
But no, my films sell, but I think because they're an older audience, younger people wouldn't touch it. Like, oh God, no.
It seems like a lot of, I didn't really have that much comic books as a kid, but I liked going to the comic book store. I used to live in the country, but I've started to read comic books, and what I do is when I go to the comic book store, I pick out just random ones. I don't actually stick with one but I do like them. But it's like I kind of missed out on that as a kid. I didn't. But it's funny that I'm into filmmaking and I like comics after the fact, and so many filmmakers are also into comics too.
Well, I think for me, film like with Pervos, pretty much every shot had my horrible stick figure drawings. I'm like, here you go. I want the camera here, and I want the thing out. I didn't really do it with Eric, because Eric had pretty strong ideas of what he wanted to do, which is fine. But with Pervos, I'll see if I can find some JPEGs. It's pretty funny, because I actually did the picture. I don't know if you ever saw the film, but there's a scene where the girl pops out from over the bed, and I drew it down, and I was like all proud. I was like, hey, this corresponded what I did.
Duck fight.
Yeah, I think the problem with I'm having with a lot of the indie film scene is that there's a lot of have my people talk to your people, then we can talk. And I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll stop by L.A. I mean, I'll stop by. Come on, if you work at Taco Bell, don't don't act like you're too good to do my stuff. But anyways, but most of these are just like frame grabs. And that drives me nuts. Hold on. And so I think okay, let me go to the first page. So I liked how that turned out. It's actually almost the same shot. This is the same shot. I just brought that up a little bit more. Comic books, like poetry, is like less is more. You gotta actually just let the image tell the story. Which, see, this is the same shot, and I just brought it up closer. Anyways.
And you can always insert photos too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been actually reading up on a lot of the comic book writers, like Alan Moore and Grant Morrison. They're a little funny in the head. I was like, okay, these guys are very talented, but there's something inherently wrong with these guys. You want something funny, I need to send you a link on Grant Morrison talking about magic, and he's like, I walked down this Tibetan temple and I met fifth dimensional creatures. I'm like, whoa, but now he's a publisher. But anyways, they talk about how comic book art is actually I get where they're coming from. It's kind of like a link to primitive shamanistic magic, and I'm like, well, if you want to use that extrapolation, you could say that with filmmaking. But I like I'm glad that you like this concept. I'm going to try to do like 8-page comic. I already did one with Astro Space Hero, but
I also used to like reading Dilbert and Calvin and Hobbes. Books.
Calvin and Hobbes. That's another guy who's kind of funny in the head. Have you heard of Bill Waterston?
Yeah.
I've been reading about him. Yeah, he's funny in the head too. I was like, wow, I don't know. A lot of these guys I really like are kind of funny in the head. Jerry, when I wrote this down, I created a universe out of my pen. Okay. Okay. This is the Galaxy, and I put a filter on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Now I don't know if how Tucky would feel about this. These aren't exactly like the best pictures you can get. But I'm like,
and what's this called?
Well, it was kind of a joke. We were actually just goofing around. Todd and I and Tucky, and we were just having supper. I guess he had interviewed her for something, for INC. He interviewed her for INC, and we were having dinner, and we were just goofing around, and we were joking like, hey, why don't we try to make like a little fake movie, like called Zombie Mardi Gras? And Tucky's doing it by the power of Jennifer Aniston, and Todd's doing Todd stuff, and I think I was acting like I was getting zapped by a ray gun, and was just kind of goofing around. Wasn't planned by any means. I put together I have all this like footage of a Versailles. You know how when you see something like a carnival or so you see something, you're like, I've got to put it. I don't know where I'll use it. I don't know where.
I know what you mean.
And I have all this carnival footage, and I'm like, okay, I'll put it in there.
Oh, that's cool.
And I put together the film. And I actually have some other footage, because the footage I shot with Tucky and Todd at most was about 2 minutes. I couldn't really stretch it out too much. And I have all this backup footage of us in the Terror Crimson Creek basement. They shot it in this really nasty part of Louisville, like an old school building. There wasn't anything there. And it was Chad Hundley, Steve Gwynn, and Kenny Bates. We're all like sneaking around, and it's in this really nasty, like dilapidated. There's Mr. Gwynn now.
Oh no, that's a neighbor.
Oh, okay. She's probably like, there's a scary man. But we were filming in between takes on that, and it was in a pretty seedy part of Louisville, because when we showed up, we had to chain the gates, and it was like glamour filming. It was like, well, Jerry, you can go use the porta potty, you know, which is great at 9 in the morning when it's fresh. 2 in the morning, walking in Crack Central, across the field, you know, Ken Daniels from Friday Night showed up at 1 in the morning, and he opened the door, and he said, Jerry, this place is a war zone. And we filmed in 2 buildings. One building that we shot, and I shot the stuff with Kenny and Steve, had no running water. And I told the actors, I was like, we have no running water in here. There's all these toilets in here. Don't use them. Because you know there's going to be that one joker. I didn't know, man. Oh, well, I guess we'll have to smell poo for about 12 hours. I'm like, yeah. So I told them not to use it. But you had to go across the spooky abandoned parking lot to the locked up building that had running water and electricity.
Yeah.
So it was. I was picking on Cherokee. I was like, hey, can you find some sort of industrial, something a little bit more scarier to shoot now? But
I wanted to show up to that, but my sister was visiting, and it was like,
well,
I really wanted to go to that though.
It was a pretty good shoot. When we showed up, they shot the one version of the Wicked one there. So you had all these like blood stains and empty lights and stuff all over the building, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.